My name is Michaela Daniel, and I'm the Director of Outreach and Partnerships for Representable. I am joined by Amanda Kmetz, the Data Engineer for the Princeton Gerrymandering Project. Today, we are going to talk about how you can use information gathered by Representable in the analysis and creation of district, city, and state maps. Representable is a free tool that allows anyone and everyone to learn about communities of interest, gerrymandering, and redistricting, give valuable testimony about their community, map their community of interest, and send this information in various formats to map makers, legislators, and advocacy groups. Representable was built in tandem with our community partners, so our easy user interface helps to increase public input in the redistricting process from a diverse set of communities, especially underrepresented groups. Hopefully you know a little bit about Representable, but if not, here is a brief overview of how individuals can use our website. To map your community with Representable, first you answer questions about what brings your community of interest together and what your community's needs are. Then you would draw a map using census blocks or census block groups that encompass your community. Lastly, you could download your maps as GeoJSON, PDF, or CSV files and share your community with map makers or legislators. We have created a platform of community maps to center public input within our democracy. But why is that important? Communities of interest are a legally enforceable fairness standard, making them incredibly powerful. Over 26 states legally require these community groups to be respected when drawing districts. If you don't know if your state legally requires COI data, you can go on Representable right now and find out. As we go through these slides, think about how COI data can be used in your specific local context. Speaking of data, how do you access the COIs submitted on Representable? Well, right now, you can go to our website and access the COI information that has been collected in all 50 states. Some, such as Utah, have hundreds of submitted maps. With our data layers on our website, you can see where communities are split by previous state House, state Senate, and congressional district lines. School district lines, tribal boundaries, county lines, and much more are also available to you. Finally, our newest feature is the ability to upload a GeoJSON file of proposed district lines. These files are often shared by the government itself, but oftentimes citizens can also propose maps. And you can get them from softwares like the Redistricting app or even Maptitude. On our state map page and individual community pages, you can upload these proposed plans and see how they may affect your community of interest. Now, uploading your COI into a mapping software or analyzing maps on Representable, these are only the first steps. There is no one best practice for utilizing and analyzing community of interest data, but both of these articles offer some metrics for understanding how a district plan respects communities of interest. The UC Irvine Law Review article in particular outlines how the California Citizens Redistricting Commission sought out and implemented public input, specifically in the forms of communities of interest in the 2010 redistricting cycle. Now, if you want to know where you can go for help in evaluating the proposed maps, we recommend that you go to law school students who can provide legal analysis, GIS students or your local GIS analysts who can analyze COI patterns and relationships. Grad students have been used in evaluating the written testimony that is submitted to our website. And of course, Common Cause, League of Women Voters, Charge, and like-minded organizations offer helpful resources and relationships in this process. Lastly, the Princeton Gerrymandering Project is scoring proposed district maps released by state governments, and they compile this information in their report cards, which you can see at the bottom right of the screen. And then if you're asking yourself what you need to be prepared, you can ask your legislatures to release maps in shapefile, GeoJSON, or Black equivalency CSV file format. And now I'll pass things off to Amanda.
Thanks, Michaela. The unique power of Representable is the translation of shared local knowledge into tangible outcomes in the redistricting process. The tool is designed to be easy to use without any prior mapping or GIS knowledge. However, when a map drawer, analyst, or advocate wants to use that knowledge, they are easily able to do so by exporting the community shapes outside of Representable. If you navigate to representable.org/map/ the two-letter abbreviation of your state, you can see all the current communities cataloged for that particular state, description of their self-defined shared local interests and concerns. As Michaela mentioned, you can also export these COIs into GeoJSON or CSV format, and then you can re-import them into GIS or mapping software of your choice, such as Dave's Redistricting, Maptitude, or others. I also have a couple examples of how people might use COI data in practice. A community advocate drawing demonstration maps for their state might use the COIs as the basis for their districts. They could import these GeoJSON layers into map drawing software, such as Dave's Redistricting app, and design districts that preserve communities that are not visible using census data alone. Although the way the lines are drawn and the public input process is very different in each state, the community maps can be submitted wherever possible directly to the legislature or the commission who draws the lines. They can then use the exported files in Maptitude for redistricting, a common redistricting platform used by state legislatures. The goal is that these map drawers consider the communities alongside the other legal criteria specified in the state. Finally, an analyst who receives a proposed map directly from a state legislature or commission might want to see how the districts interact with existing communities. They can import the COIs and proposed maps from Representable into GIS software such as QGIS or ArcGIS, or even to their existing geospatial workflow using R Python. Here they can analyze the splitting of these communities and figure out ways that map drawers could do better.
As Amanda mentioned, the redistricting process and public input process varies by state. So we've identified 3 avenues for how Representable can be used for policy outcomes. Firstly, in the more than 26 states with legal requirements to respect COIs, Representable can provide data to map makers to ensure that they respect COIs and to hold them accountable in the instances that they do not. Specifically, there will be legal challenges more than likely for gerrymandered districts that don't respect COIs, and public testimony and data powered by Representable could be of use in that situation. Secondly, in the more than 20 states with an independent or nonpartisan citizen redistricting commission, Representable will provide data to map makers and help them draw better maps that respect COIs. Thirdly, additional uses of Representable include crowdsourcing community data at scale and supporting citizens, journalists, and policymakers in evaluating these maps through this redistricting session and beyond. If you want to know more about Representable and the Princeton Gerrymandering Project, please do not hesitate to contact us through the emails above. We look forward to hearing from and supporting you during this redistricting process and those in the future.